going to work? All righty. Okay, so we're going to jump right into the messages. Terrie, I want you to go ahead and start with, what did Archangel Metatron talk about for where is our energy best spent this week?
Yes. So I have to tell you that Metatron today, well, last week also Metatron was spot on, resonating with me personally, but Metatron started out talking about feelings that we might be experiencing of being overwhelmed and trapped, confined in boredom and hopelessness, sometimes feeling smothered and even restricted. But Metatron also said that we are the ones that have the key to unlock the door of the cage, right? Because feeling restricted, we could feel caged in. And so each and every one of us has the ability to create a space to allow for the freedom to be who we are, which was really, really wonderful, because we have the ability to feel the love and recognize infinite, love, unconditional, and all these possibilities before us. So we're the ones that have the control, and we can change anything in life. We have that power to do it. It's our perception that actually holds us back. And it can keep us small. So Metatron was very much like, it's not only is it up to us, but it's our perception. So Metatron went on to say that it's our thoughts that create that perception, or can create the illusion of feeling trapped. So we may not actually be trapped, but it's our perception and the illusion of it. And that our thoughts can dictate us doing things and achievements. So it's actually the thoughts that control how that's going to come about and how we're going to go ahead and be. And again, this is all just based on our perception. Metatron also talked about this week being a really good good week, excuse me, a really good week to create a space in our life where we feel freedom and control. And also that if we're not ready to take that big, huge leap forward, all we really need to do is take a teeny, tiny step. And the universe will meet us in the bigger goal, or in getting into that bigger picture. Because as Metatron says, when you begin, the universe unleashes miracles in your life, and all you have to do is just take that first step. And I was like, oh, Metatron, you're gonna make me cry. I love that. So that was really, really lovely. That was really nice. Yeah.
And I just want to say that we are taking live callers. And so
Oh,
if you're
fabulous.
live, we would love to have you join us over here on Om Times Radio, and you can dial in. And we would love to give you a free psychic reading today at 1-202-570-7057. Again, our dial-in number is 1-202-570-7057. And we are sharing a beautiful energy forecast to help you navigate the ups and downs of being human here on planet Earth. And yeah, I loved that visual imagery of when Metatron talked about, imagine being that caged bird, being
Right.
in that cage, and that restriction, that feeling of hopelessness and boredom. And then imagine you've got magical powers, and a key magically appears.
Poof.
And you can let yourself free, that you're not at the mercy of somebody else. You don't have to wait for somebody else to do something in order for you to make a change in your life. And I mean, I could really feel it deep in my soul, that freedom, that feeling of being trapped for so long and not knowing what to do or where to go, or feeling like you didn't have any options. And then all of the sudden, the door is blown wide open.
Yeah.
And you really do have options. You really are able to make some permanent changes in your life and really, really create what you want. So yeah, I could totally.
Yeah.
That was good, wasn't it?
It was fabulous. It was really fabulous and so on point too. So on point. It's amazing how we don't even realize that we're the ones that can make our lives better, and that's actually nice. That gives us a sense of control because then it's not coming from the outside. Isn't that great? Because we can't control anything that's going on here, right? But we can control this to the best of our abilities, of course. So I love Metatron's message.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I know I work with a great technique called Ho'oponopono. And it just
Oh,
brings to mind, part of that technique is taking your power back.
oh
Part of
yeah.
that technique, I mean, it's just two simple phrases: thank you, I love you. And it activates and engages this beautiful, blessed healing
Yeah.
and releasing of all these memories that are keeping us stuck. But what it also does is it takes you out of that blaming.
Yeah.
It's because I have a house payment, I have to stay in this job. It's because my husband won't let me. I can't do blah blah blah. Um, but it helps you understand and realize that those are just perceptions. You
Exactly.
have many, many more choices than you're giving yourself credit for. You're having that limited
The
blind
blinders.
view
Yeah.
of the world. Take off the
Yeah.
blinders. And
Rip them
Team
off.
Terrie, Team Terrie had some great messages
Oh,
for us today. I took a few notes here. Choices are made from a place of freedom, and decisions are typically based on experiences you've had in the past. And so, Team Terrie talked a lot about decisions versus choices. And even if you take a look at those two words, that word choice has seems to have a higher frequency. It even the word choice in and of itself is more expansive. When you take a look at that word decision, it does seem to be very heavy and um, m- a little bit more refrained, restricted.
trapped.
Trapped, yeah, and I was like, well, because this was a new concept, I've, never thought of those two words in those two different perspectives, and it was quite interesting when you let go of decisions, because decisions feel like something you have to do. I have
It's
to
a have
do
to,
this. I
right?
can't
Yeah.
decide. But a choice is just a completely different energy, completely different perspective. Any thoughts on that? Because, like I said, that was brand new.
Yeah, I mean, as silly as this sounds, even at its most basic level, the word choice has one syllable and decision has decision. That's three syllables. So that's already harder to say. So, that's already something easier. But I think, I mean, there's also, well, there is such a thing as preference, right? So there are things that you prefer, which is totally fine. And that probably fits in somewhere in decision too, wouldn't you think? But a lot of times it feels to me when Team Terry was talking to me that decision is just really based on history, right? And history does have a tendency to repeat itself. So if you're feeling trapped or stuck, it's typically because you're doing the same thing, right? So you're not doing something different. So it felt to me that they were trying to say that if you don't make a decision and maybe you make a choice, you're coming from a different place and therefore you're not acting from the past and therefore that can help you get unstuck. So to me, that's kind of what it felt like to me. And I don't think I've ever me as Terry, regular plain old human Terry, I don't think I ever really put that much thought into choice versus decision. Logical, rational, pragmatic, and analytical Terry is saying, well, preference has to fit somewhere in there too. And it does, because it does. We are, the soul has preferences. But yeah, decision versus choice. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Well, and it really is a simple fact that choices are gifts, and
Yeah.
that the choice allows you to move forward. And when you're stuck, you're in that stagnated energy. And typically, when you're in that stuck place, it's about fear because, we don't purposely stay stuck. I mean, you
Oh
can
boy.
feel that. Yeah, you can feel that energy. But, and let's talk about that because I think that's something as well that came up is that not making a decision is a decision, not making a choice is
Yeah.
a choice. So
Right.
when you are aware that you're stuck, I mean, certainly awareness is the first step. When you're
I would think
aware
so.
that you don't like the reality that you're in at
Yeah.
this moment, in that moment of
Yeah.
awareness, you can choose to continue to stay where you've always been, or you can choose to step out of that and create a new reality for yourself. So, yeah, I absolutely, staying stuck is actually a choice.
Yeah. And that actually if you think about it, that piggybacks on Metatron's message by saying you're the one that has control, right? And you're the one that has the key, the magic wand to open up that cage. So, that's just something to consider too.
Yes, most definitely. Um, so the energy this week is all about making a choice. And I know that's another thing that came up is that this week, really think about your life, think about where you're at in your life and where you want to be. Think about maybe areas of your life that you're feeling stuck in, or just areas that you would like some changes. You would like to bring in a new energy or a new feeling. So, whether it's taking more time for yourself, or it's not doing something you've always done, or you're really ready to leave that relationship, and this is the
Right.
week. This is the week to
Yeah.
allow freedom to move into your life in a bigger way. I know another thing that Metatron talked about it is start where you're at. And I loved that he wasn't like, if you're not feeling it in your relationship or you're not feeling it in your job, you don't have to stop right now and walk out the door. Start where you're at, start small, but create a sacred space in your life where you feel free. So if you think about, Terry, can you think about different areas in your life where you could,
Oh yeah.
instead of doing a huge leap, you could like, okay, I could feel freedom here.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, I sure can. I would love to say that I'm exempt, but I'm not. Being in this human container does not exempt me. But yeah, I mean, even something as simple as, let's say I want to feel better physically. So I have to make healthy choices, right? Even something, and if we're talking little teeny tiny step, maybe it's even something like having an extra glass of water every day. So, and again, it doesn't have to be big. It's tiny, tiny, tiny. So feeling physically healthier might be one of those. Just saying, Julie, just saying, maybe. But even, yeah,
And
yes.
that's perfect. That's perfect. I mean, one of the things that I try to do too is because for so long, I used to be a school teacher and it was go, 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 run, run, run. And I pushed through being sick, I pushed through being tired, and it was just
Right.
on, on, on. And one thing I've tried to be very adamant about in my, you know, life here as a psychic medium is sleep when you're tired.
Oh.
Sleep when you're tired. So sometimes I will take an afternoon nap and it feels so good. And I've been so busy, like yesterday was a crazy busy day and I was starting to feel tired. And usually I really honor that when I'm tired. take either a 10-minute power nap, or I I rest for an hour, and it really is life changing. But I was trying to power through yesterday, and then it just hit me at like 4:30, and it was strong and loud
Yeah.
sleep when you're tired, and I couldn't hardly keep my eyes open anymore. I had to go lay down.
Yeah. Well, you see, a lot of times I think, because this just popped into my head, is like sometimes we'll judge ourselves for taking care of ourselves, right? Like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this because A, B, C. So we should on ourselves, right? It's not good to should on ourselves. So that, sometimes judgment can actually impede on, if you think about it, judgment can impede on our sense of freedom, because all of a sudden we're restricting and confining ourselves to something how we think it ought to be or should be.
That's
So,
perfect. That's perfect, because and there again we are judging ourselves. We're restricting our
yeah.
own choices. We're restricting our own perception of freedom in our lives. And I know another interesting thing that Terry had mentioned was that the more that you make good choices in your life, the more that you choose and don't just do continue on. Like for myself, when I was feeling tired and I was trying to push through that, when I stopped and made that choice to honor my body, it felt so beautiful. But the one thing Terry had mentioned was that when you do that, you're creating pathways. You're creating
Right.
neurons so that it becomes easier and easier. I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what we are. We're electromagnetic beings. So we are literally electrically or electronically, I don't know, but in our brains, literally creating new neural pathways for a new way of thinking. And when you think new and different, you get new and different. And then that's law of attraction too, from an energetic basic level. That's quantum physics right there, people.
Most definitely. Well, this is about the time where we do a free psychic reading, and I know we've got a few people over on Facebook that are looking for us and they can't find us, and I
Oh,
apologize for that. For some
sorry,
reason,
guys.
our Zoom platform is not allowing us to do our Facebook Live this morning, so we'll have to catch up with you on another day. But we do have that dial-in number, 1-202-570-7057. You can dial in, and I'm just checking my messages from Chris quickly to see if we have any callers, and we don't. So what we're
Okay.
going to do right now, Terry, is I'm going to go to the cards. I work with some angel cards, and I'm
Okay.
going to do just kind of a group reading, because
Perfect.
there's an energy. There's a family that comes here that
Absolutely.
shows up every week on Om Times Radio, and I know that we have people out there listening today. So this reading is for you, kind of
Love it.
specific message from the angels. And oh, we are in the month of February, which is all about love. It's my favorite month. I love this month. My gosh, to have a national day where we celebrate love. Are you kidding me? That's so
We should
awesome.
have the Beatles, All You Need Is Love, playing in the background.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we're going to go with the romance deck today.
Nice.
So
Perfect.
let's see. What do you need to know about your romantic life for this week? And I'm just shuffling the cards quickly for our group energy here. We've got a collective consciousness going. So whether you're coming in to listen to this after or you're with us live now, this is all for you. Oh, and this is a great card. Today,
Ooh, yeah.
this
I'll take
is the
it.
passion card. The passion card. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy and with love. So this is so perfect with our, theme for the week of freedom. Where is your energy best spent? It is in allowing and finding and allowing those things that really bring passion into your life. But since this is February and this is all about love this month, I really want you to focus this week on your romantic relationships. And if you aren't in a romantic relationship, then I want you to romance yourself. I want you to romance yourself. So whether you buy yourself some flowers or some chocolate, or you indulge in that bubble bath tonight, I want you to find passion in your soul, in yourself, if it's with yourself or if it's with a special someone in your life. I want you to infuse some passion
I love that.
in your life this week. Any thoughts
You're
on
so
that?
passionate.
And I know. It's all over. Any psychic thoughts on that energy of passion, Terrie?
Absolutely. See, how do I explain this? It's like when you're feeling passion, to me, it also seems like you're being truly authentic with yourself. You are at your deepest core of pure joy and enjoyment, which I'm just going to go ahead and piggyback on our theme. When you're feeling authentic, that in itself is a sense of freedom. So passion can be one of the little arms of subsects, or one of those little umbrella thing. I don't know. I can't talk right now. But anyways, it can be a part of freedom. So passion is fabulous and it's authentic, and that authenticity is freedom. So when you're in that moment, when you're feeling that passion, whether it's for yourself or for someone else, you are sensing freedom. That's what I think. That's what I feel.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's such a perfect card for this week, the first
Oh,
week
it's
of the
wonderful.
month, filled with love, blessings everywhere to everyone. All right. Well, we have just a couple minutes left. And Terrie, do you have anything going on this month that you want to share with our audience?
Sure. As a matter of fact, I have a couple of Facebook Lives coming up. I have one next Tuesday, so it's the day before Valentine's Day. That'll be at 8 p.m. Pacific time, and that's on my business page, which is Terrie Huberman Intuitive Coach on Facebook. And I'll be with sound healer and psychic Rosa Raya. And then on Friday night, we're doing a Friday night, talking about passion. February 23rd, 8 p.m. will be a Facebook Live with the wonderful Paul Jasek, who is a fabulous tarot reader. And we often work together, and that's a lot of fun. So you can find both of those Facebook Lives on my Facebook page, which is Terrie Huberman Intuitive Coach. So I've got those things coming up, teaching classes here and there. Your best bet is just to either follow me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, or even check out my website.
That's awesome. That's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we've got an encore of our Manifesting Mastermind group coming up February 12th, Monday, just next week. Wow. So we had such a beautiful time here with our meditations, our first month, that we've decided to come back. And now I'll be recording the meditation. So it'll be a 4-minute audio that you listen to every day. And then you post a comment. So you can come in and out anytime during the day. There's no set time for that. And for this round, we're just asking for a love offering or a donation. So you can sign up for that or find out more information over on my website at juliegeigel.com. And then Susan and I have an exciting program coming up, the Spring Summer Lightworkers Mentorship Program. And this is a 4-week, 4-session program. We'll meet from 3 to 5 every other Thursday beginning March 8th, from 3 to 5 Central Standard Time. And so if you've been with us before or haven't been with us before, we've been doing the Lightworker Mentorship Program now for the past year, and it's been pretty darn exciting. All right. Well, I'm hearing my music in my ear, Terrie, so we're going to wrap things up. I'm
All
Julie
right.
with Terrie Huberman. You've been listening to Angel Talk Tuesday. You can follow Angel Talk on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you haven't yet gone to our Apple podcast or YouTube and subscribe, rate, and review this episode. We truly appreciate that. And don't forget to join us next week for our latest energy forecast on Angel Talk Tuesday. Thank you for listening and have a blessed day.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.